Hey guys, Brady here with your daily tennis lesson, talking today about getting more depth on your ground strokes. You know, for me, depth is a really underrated part of the baseline game. And I hope that it makes sense to you guys that I think the biggest contributing factor to getting more depth than you currently get now is adding height to the ball. Okay, so what I want to do right off the bat today is just show two separate ground strokes. And the first is going to be a swing where I just drop the ball, and you guys are going to see a really level stroke where I'm staying, you know, basically in the same height from my backswing to the ball, and then having somewhat of a traditional finish. And hopefully that the look of this swing gives you guys the impression that I didn't get a lot of depth on that shot. Okay, so I'm bringing the net into play, and I'm making the return from my opponent a little bit easier. So that big factor that we want to start to change to get more depth out through the court is height. So my inclination, and what I hope makes sense to you guys, is to get the racket a little more underneath the tennis ball and start throwing the follow through, you know, up through the ball a little more. So here we go. Here's the second swing that I feel like produces more depth. Okay, and that ball for me clearly was deeper in the court. It was a nicer feeling swing to me. And, you know, it's just kind of the way that I want you guys to start to adopt and start to play to get more depth. So let's do this. Mark's going to hit me a couple balls. One other kind of contributing factor here, you guys, that's not as important, but something we could start to rely on more, is when we start to get the ball higher up in the air, if you guys don't feel like the ball is getting deep enough in the court, and by deep enough, I'm looking for you guys to get the ball, you know, halfway between the service line and the baseline, at that point, start to add a little more power into the swing. Okay, so I'll start with a couple where I'm really focused on getting lower to higher to start to move the ball farther back into the court. See that one again? That felt really good. Good result right there. So for me on those two swings, I'm not getting the impression that I need to swing much harder than that. But for some of you guys, what you might start to feel is this, okay? You're going to make that move to get lower to higher, but you can see that landed inside the service line even though I put it up in the air. So at that point, get a little more swing speed up through that ball, and you guys can see that combination of adding height with a little more pace starts to drive that ball deeper in the court. Okay, and that's for many reasons, depth is such a good, you know, valuable part of the game. Takes the net out of play, just builds the confidence to really swing through the ball off the baseline. Okay, so go out, give that a try. If you guys are feeling like you're lacking depth in the game, start to get that racket moving from lower and more up into the ball, and start to add a little more power, a little more speed into the swing. As an addition to that, if you still feel like you're not pushing the boundaries of your opponent's side of the court. Okay, so that's all I got for you guys today. Hope that was extremely helpful. Please click like below this video, and if you happen to be watching on YouTube, please subscribe to our channel. Thanks, and we'll see you guys soon.